Picture this: 20 January 2025. A new president takes office.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And within hours, sweeping changes begin to unfold across the country.
Donald Trump reacting today to a sweeping new investigation led by Democrats into the U.S. president.
Federal agencies are dismantled, regulations vanish overnight, and long-standing policies are reversed.
Trump was in Arizona Thursday visiting the U.S. southern border, focusing his campaign on one of the top issues for many voters.
This isn't speculation. It's the goal of Project 2025. In the next few minutes, we'll reveal the truth behind this audacious plan and what it could mean for you.
This is Project 2025.
It's called Project 2025.
Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow, and this is Project 2025.
So what exactly is Project 2025? And why is it causing such a controversy across the political spectrum? Project 2025 is not just another policy proposal. It's all in a plan designed by the Heritage Foundation.
Your organization is named the Heritage Foundation,
one of the most powerful conservative think tanks in the United States. The Heritage Foundation has been shaping Republican policy since the Reagan administration. But Project 2025 is perhaps their most hard effort yet. The project began in 2022, well before Donald Trump officially announced his candidacy for the 2024 presidential race. It's the latest in a series of documents known as the Mandate for Leadership, which the Heritage Foundation has been releasing regularly since 1981. But unlike previous versions, Project 2025 is one of a kind in its scope and ambition. This nearly 900-page document is basically a roadmap for a future Republican administration, describing not just policy recommendations, but also strategies for rebuilding the executive branch to check that these policies can be implemented fast and with least resistance. It's a bold vision for the future of America, but it's also one that has raised serious concerns about the intensity of power and the potential damage of democratic rules. To put it simply, Project 2025 is more than just a policy wish list. It's a strategic playbook designed to reshape the American government from the ground up, and it's already making waves among both supporters and critics. But who exactly is behind this project, and how is it connected to Donald Trump's political agenda? Let's dig a little deeper. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Many of the names associated with Project 2025 might sound very familiar to those who followed the Trump administration closely. While Donald Trump himself did not directly create Project 2025, some of his closest allies played important roles in its development. One of the key figures involved is Russell Vought, who served as Trump's budget director during his first term. Vought led the section of Project 2025 that deals with executive orders, a critical part of the plan that seeks to empower the president to make sweeping changes without needing congressional approval. Vaught's involvement in Project 2025 is mostly obvious because he is also the policy director for the Republican National Convention, which is heavily influenced by Trump loyalists.
I'm John McEntee. I'm an advisor on Project 2025 for Heritage.
Another prominent figure associated with Project 2025 is John McEntee, who served as Trump's White House personnel chief. McEntee was a key player in Trump's efforts to clear out the federal government of officials who became disloyal in 2020. His role in Project 2025 suggests that the next Republican administration could see a similar push to fill key government positions with loyalists who are committed to the project's vision. But despite these connections, Trump has publicly distanced himself from Project 2025. In fact, he's gone so far as to claim that he knows nothing about the project or the people involved, a statement that has raised more than a few eyebrows given the large role his allies have played in its development. Trump's disavowal of Project 2025 is likely a strategic move to avoid being tied to some of the more controversial aspects of the plan. After all, with the 2024 election looming, Trump needs to appeal to a broad base of voters, and positioning too closely with an extreme policy agenda could push away some of his supporters. But what do you think? Is Trump genuinely uninvolved with Project 2025? Or is this just a clever political play? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's discuss. So, what exactly does Project 2025 propose? And why are its recommendations sparking so much debate? At its core, Project 2025 is a blueprint for radically transforming the executive branch of the US government. One of its most controversial proposals is the criminalization of pornography, an idea that fits with the project's broader goal of promoting conservative values. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The document also calls for the removal of the Commerce and Education departments, two key agencies that play a vital role in regulating the economy and overseeing the nation's education system. Project 2025 also takes a hardline stance on climate change, rejecting the idea that climate change is a significant threat and support for the removal of climate protections. Another major focus of Project 2025 is immigration. The document suggests deploying the military to assist in arrest operations along the US-Mexico border, a move that would mark a significant rise in the government's approach to immigration policy. The project also advised for the removal of any and all immigration violators, which could pave the way for the largest mass deportation effort in US history. But perhaps the most radical aspect of Project 2025 is its plan to overhaul the federal bureaucracy. The document calls for the restoration of Schedule F, a controversial executive order issued by Trump during his presidency that made it easier to fire career officials and replace them with political appointees. While President Biden overturned Schedule F shortly after taking office, Project 2025 calls for it to be restored, arguing that the federal government is overrun by bureaucratic rules and must be controlled it. Agenda 47 is Trump's campaign blueprint for his second term, and while it shares some similarities with Project 2025, there are also important differences. One of the most notable differences is the approach to abortion. Project 2025 takes a very aggressive stance on restricting abortion rights, with proposals to rebrand the Department of Health and Human Services as the Department of Life, a name that reflects the project's commitment to promoting a culture of life in America. In fact, Agenda 47 does not mention abortion at all, which is telling given Trump's historically shifting positions on the issue. When Trump first ran for president in 2016, he promised to appoint Supreme Court justices who would overturn Roe v. Wade, a promise he delivered on with the court's decision to overturn the landmark ruling in 2022. However, during the 2024 campaign, Trump has suggested that abortion rights should be decided on a state-by-state basis, a position that contrasts with the more centralized approach advocated by Project 2025. Another area where Project 2025 and Agenda 47 overlap is in their approach to the Justice Department. Both documents suggest that the Justice Department has become too independent and must be brought under tighter control. Project 2025 goes as far as to describe the department as being overrun with employees committed to a radical liberal agenda, and advocates for significant restructuring to position in more closely with conservative priorities. Trump has similarly criticized the Justice Department, particularly in light of its investigations into his actions surrounding the 2020 election. Both Trump and Project 2025 envision a Justice Department that is more responsive to the President's directives, which raises concerns about the potential breaking down of the department's independence. On immigration, Trump and Project 2025 are closely in place. Both advocate for aggressive measures to control illegal immigration, including mass deportations and the use of the military to assist in border enforcement.
Nearly 180,000 illegal immigrants with
This is a foundation of Trump's campaign, and it's clear that Project 2025 provides a detailed framework for how these goals could be achieved. One of the most striking similarities between Agenda 47 and Project 2025 is their mutual hate for diversity, equity and inclusion, DEI programs. Project 2025 calls for an end to DEI initiatives, which it views as promoting a diverse and harmful agenda. Trump has voiced these sentiments on the campaign trail, vowing to keep men out of women's sports and tear down what he sees as the toxic influence of DEI programs in education and government. Finally, on international trade, both Project 2025 and Agenda 47 advocate for a protectionist approach, often framed as America First policies. This includes higher tariffs on foreign competitors and a more hard-hitting stance toward China. These policies are aimed at boosting American industry and protecting jobs, but they also risk sparking trade wars and damaging international relations. So do you think the similarities between Project 2025 and Agenda 47 indicate a shared vision for the future of America? Or are the differences significant enough to suggest diverging paths? As we've seen, Project 2025 is more than just a policy document. It's a well-rounded vision for a conservative America, one that could dramatically reshape the country's government, society, and international standing. While it shares some common ground with Donald Trump's official platform, it also introduces new and potentially controversial ideas that have sparked intense debate across the political spectrum. Whether you view Project 2025 as a necessary course correction or a dangerous power grab likely depends on your political perspective. But one thing is certain. The proposals outlined in this document have the potential to change the path of the United States in significant ways. And it's crucial that we stay informed and engaged as these developments unfold. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. Thanks for watching and also to subscribe my channel.